Alright, hi guys, Brian here, and today I want to give you my impressions on the SH Figuarts Android 16 figure. He just arrived. I want to let you guys know what I think about him. Well, first let's take a look at the box. It's a box, has a picture side, has a back side, has a picture side, has a warning side, has a top side. It's a box. He comes with, well, technically 4 heads, I suppose. He comes with a grumpy expression, a diarrhea expression, a I'm about to die expression, and a pretty birdies expression. As for his fists, he's got, well, as for his hands, I suppose I should say, not fists. He's got fists, he's got hands, that's it. And that's all he comes with. I'll be honest, I'm rather disappointed with how few things he has. Like, some extra set of hands would be useful, maybe an effects part. I'm not gonna, like, demand effects parts, but he comes with so little else, I don't know, it'd be nice. But as for the figure itself, well, let's get into posing, shall we? His head is on SH Figuarts ball joints, so it can do whatever the hell you want. It can go up, down, left, right, any direction you want to go, even whatever this type of movement is. He has, well, let's talk about these things. These things are on ball joints and can pop off, and they just plug onto his back. And yes, there is a seam in between them, so that's something to be aware of, but, you know, I don't think it's too egregious. But they're on ball joints well enough that they can get out of the way of whatever you need them to do. Alright, but the arms are on Figuarts ball joints, so they can do whatever the hell you want. They can go in and out. Wow, that looks painful. Just a flesh wound. They can go in and out. You got your bicep swivel, you got your elbow joint, but not a drastic amount of range on the elbow, unfortunately. That's another kind of disappointment. And another disappointment is the wrist. Is the standard Figuarts wrist articulation, but the cuff on this thing is so big that you can't really do too much with it while popping a hand off like that. And it's not a particularly useful wrist, unfortunately. He's got an ab crunch, which I love when figures can have an ab crunch. He's got a waist joint, which can do a whole bunch of fun stuff. And as you can see, the skirt pieces get out of the way pretty nicely. He's got the Figuarts joints in the legs, so he can go in, or not in, out. That much. His butt plate, and a magnificent butt plate that is, prevents it from going back too far. You can always do the Figuarts thing where you can pull it down a bit to get further forward range, and probably a little bit more backwards range. He's got a double jointed knee, which can work very well. He's got a thigh swivel up at the upper part of the thigh. He's got a foot, which is pretty darn good. He's got a toe, which can toe pretty darn good. He's got the standard level of SH Figuarts awesome articulation. So you can get him into basically any pose you want, and he will happily go along with it. If not as easily as some other figures, but still you can get him into whatever you need him to. Now, there is one other little thing that he can do. If you remember in the show, he did that. Popped off his arms and shot at Sal a lot. And you can do that on both arms. And supposedly you can get these into his armpits to hold them, but I have not been able to figure out a good way to actually do that. But I do actually love that they painted these things silver, these discs silver. It just really pops for me. And if you have some Tamashi effects parts like the impact effects or the flame effects, it can really go a long way to help sell a scene. Also, if you happen to have some Shapeways Fake Busker critters, it helps as well. Although probably some real animals would be a little bit better. And of course he scales well with Cell, who is actually surprisingly shorter than him. If you happen to have a few effects parts for this setup, it works pretty well too. One of the other drawbacks about how few accessories this guy's come with is that he doesn't even have the arms crossed accessory that other figures have. So you kind of have to work with what you got sometimes. So with patience and some Tamashi stages and other Figuarts, he can get into some really awesome poses. But there is one other thing I want to add about him, is that he's starting to suffer from the same problem that a lot of Figuarts have, and that is his head can fall off at the drop of a hat, just like plop. So for my final thoughts on the guy, I like him, but I'm not really whelmed by him, to use a Young Justice phrase. He's just a little lackluster compared to other Figuarts. He has so few accessories. His articulation is just slightly hindered compared to others. It's just annoying that I have to make allowances for him. Like, I have to justify things with him, and it's, I don't know, it just kind of bugs me. I don't regret owning him at all. It's just, he's not amazing to me. Meow. 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 So, I don't know. I like him because, you know, it's Android 16. He's a cool character. I like Android 16. I always loved this design. Like, this armor style just looks cool to me. I love that. I'm really super tempted to buy a second one and customize it into a custom character, but I just can't. I can't justify it. But at the end of the day, I like this guy. I don't think he's going to be one that I would be super lamenting if he burned up in a fire, but it definitely completes the trio of the androids. So there's basically my final thoughts on the guy. Let me know what you guys think about him. How does he look to you? What do you guys think of the little displays I had? Let me know what you guys think about him. Bye.